Welcome to the FCA Polk Podcast. Our vision is to see Polk County transformed by Jesus Christ through the influence of coaches and athletes by creating disciples that make disciples. Let's go.
Hey, Stephen, I'm so glad that you're on today. I'm excited to hear about you and what all you're doing with 101 Church and with FCA Polk. So, first of all, Stephen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, Scott, thank you for having me on today, man. It's an honor and a pleasure to see you to talk with you about just now what God's doing. First of all, my name is Stephen Zirpoli. I'm a student pastor at 101 Church. I've been student pastor since November of last year. But back then I was actually bivocational. So I did line work construction for about 20 years. And then I've done bivocational ministry for the last 15 years. Well, I won't say 15. Let's go the last 9 to 10 years, like actual ministry. Before that, though, I was a kids pastor at our old church. And then we came here and just wanted to serve, and man, God began to work and open doors. So in November of last year, I stepped on as a student pastor. And in February of this year, I surrendered completely to full-time ministry. So this is it. This is what I do full-time. There is no other work. And believe it or not, you could probably relate to this. Not that ministry work is easy, but for some reason I thought that, all right, if I surrender to full-time ministry, then I'll have more time to do more ministry. But it just seems like ever since I did that, like the work is fun. Don't get me wrong. Like I love it. I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world. But it's almost like as soon as I surrendered completely, it just ramped up, man. But so yeah, full-time student pastor.
I love it. So, a full-time student pastor at 101 Church. So, kind of what is your role? Like, what do you do during the week for the students? Like, what does that look like?
So it's growing because I'm still trying to. It's the reality. I'm still trying to figure that part out. I know that sounds bad, but several days a week there's devotionals with teens from the high school. There's discipleship with students and former students. This afternoon, I've got a call with one of the students who just graduated last year, and him and I are going to start kind of discipling. I'm going to start discipling him once or twice a week just over the phone, meeting with students, going to their games, going to their activities, just trying to be involved in their life. On the other side of that, preparing sermons, preparing outings, and things in the community the students can be involved in. And we've got our, right now, outside of 101, we're planning a night of worship this fall. So there's work in that. There's just always something ministry related to do. It's as much as you want to put into it. You know what I mean? But during the week, again, it's just really discipling students, being here if they need me, being here at the church to take care of things around here, helping our lead pastor with anything he needs throughout the week. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So, we're recording this on a Wednesday. So, tell me, I know Wednesday is kind of like your Super Bowl every
Yeah.
week with having the students come to the church and y'all do y'all's worship time together. So, what does a typical Wednesday night service look like, and what time do you guys kick off?
Okay, so we officially start at 6:45, but I'm here all afternoon. So usually the students will start rolling in. Some of the students will start rolling in about 6:15. We just kind of hang out, play basketball, talk, whatever. Before school ended last year, I actually had one of the seniors that was coming in Wednesdays at 4, and we would just kind of do discipleship. We would just do Bible study before that night. So anyway, so we officially open the doors at 6:45, and we eat dinner every night. So that's one of the cool things, and that was done long before I got here, but that's one of the cool things that I love about our student ministry is I think that the pastor's vision in this, and I could be wrong, but I think it was just to make sure that there's no excuses. Like you can't use, well, I've got to go home and cook dinner for my kids, or I've got to make sure they're fed. No, we'll take care of all that. You just bring them to us, and we'll feed them. Not only we'll feed their body, but we'll feed their soul and we'll feed their spirit all in one night. That's kind of how that starts. So we eat from 6:45 to 7, and then at 7 o'clock we'll move into the sanctuary where we'll do games, and then we'll have a worship set, the message, and then an altar call, and then small groups. So for me, well, all that's great, right? The message, the prepping, the games, and the worship set. The most important part for me and my vision is small groups, right? Because I can't reach every single student. I can't disciple every single student that walks through the door. But what I can do is equip my leaders to do that. right? So when we break off in small groups, I'll go with the 11th and 12th graders. Gina will go. So my wife is also a part of our student ministry, and she's my right hand person. All the behind us, listen. So I'm going to pause out there for a moment. I love ministry, but I love the outside face of ministry, right? The being out there with people. I love people. I don't like the administrative stuff. I don't like the planning. Like, I'm a vision caster. Gina, my wife, she's the planner. She's the administration part, and she loves putting all the dreams and the ideas into action, right? She's the connection point. So she's a really huge help. So anyway, she'll jump around from middle school and high school small groups just to be involved with those. So we break off. So during small groups, we break off into 4 groups. And we've got, 6 groups. We've got 6th grade girls and 6th grade boys. Then we have 7th and 8th grade girls and 7th and 8th grade boys. Yeah. And then we'll have 9th and 10th grade boys, 9th and 10th grade girls, 11th, 12th. So we break out into small groups. But we also have enough leaders for each grade level, right? So the biggest part of this is it's not just Wednesday night. So one thing I challenge my leaders to do is to not make this just a one night a week relationship. So even though we break off in, like I said, middle school girls and middle school boys, 9th, 10th grade, and 11th, 12th grade, each grade level has 2 leaders, a female leader and a male leader, so a boy leader and a girl leader. During the week, those leaders are reaching out to the students doing, we've got a couple of our leaders that do Bible studies at the local coffee shop at I almost said,
Black Mountain.
Black Mountain, thank you. There's a few that I think they're planning to go to the Rock Creamery, the new ice cream place. They're actually living it out. We have every student has given their leader their schedule of their games and their upcoming stuff, either this season or next season. And so the leaders just really try to get involved with the student life. Again, I love doing that, but I can't do that we have on average between 50 and 70 students a night on a Wednesday. And I can't immerse in 50 to 70 students, but I can get involved in 8 to 10. Small groups to me are really, really important because that's where your connections are. So I know that probably was a bit longer than you intended. That's how Wednesday nights run.
So like the parallel to FCA, and it sounds like the student ministry at 101 is a lot of the same. There's only one of you, but you're helping disciple leaders that are it's like a pyramid, then they're discipling others and discipling others.
Disciples make disciples, right? So
yeah, so
that's kind of the goal behind it so I guess my job is twofold, right? To pour into the students, but also to develop the leaders. Because if it wasn't for students, we wouldn't have student ministry. Same can be said if it's not for the leaders in student ministry, we would not have a good student ministry. Like, I can show up myself and 20 students and have a great night. But if our ministry is growing, then the only way that really grows is with the people that serve in it. So our leaders, to me, are just as important as the students.
Yes. I love that. Apparently, discipleship is kind of what you are basing your ministry around. And that's kind of the same thing that we try to do with FCA. The big huddles are fun.
Yeah.
But to get more intentional, as you have your student leaders, we have our character coaches, and it kind of runs parallel to each other. I love that. So with that being said, do you currently have like a mentor or someone that you're sitting under their discipleship?
So I have several, and it really wasn't until I actually started to think about it that that's what those people are. So obviously, James Cordell, Pastor James, is a huge part of that. Actually taught me a healthy way to do ministry. I've learned kind of trial by fire, I guess you could say. There's a few things that I've learned not to do by doing them and going,
isn't that all student pastors?
So I've tested my boundaries a lot, but so Pastor James is a huge one. Pastor David, man, he is a huge encourager to me. There is Shane Petty has poured a lot into me. With him being a former student pastor, he's got a lot of knowledge in that realm. So for me, even though I've only been in student ministry less than, I'd say, a year and a half. Like I said before, that it was kids ministry. So his experiences too, and Pastor James, James and Shane are both former student pastors. So under their guidance, there's a lot. And then, so those 3 would really be my top 3 mentors. Again, not just in student ministry in general, but 2 of those people have extensive student ministry experience.
Yeah. So even at our age, it's still important to have our mentors in discipleship. I love it. So with that next question I was going to ask you, so right now I know you're involved with FCA. Kind of tell us what you're doing with the FCA, kind of with the baseball team and the softball team.
So I guess the easiest way to put it is just helping. I don't know. I love FCA and what FCA does and what FCA stands for. I love how it is disciple making on a different level, right? Because it meets the students where they're at, right? So I'm inviting students to come to me on a Wednesday night, right? I'm inviting and trying to draw them in. FCA says, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come to you with what you love to do, with what your passion is, and I'm going to show you how we can relate what you're doing to the gospel, to the Bible. And I'm going to teach you how to be a godly woman, a godly man. And through that, hopefully one day you'll be a godly wife, godly husband, godly mother, godly father. FCA goes to the students where they're at, right? Now, there are things that y'all do. What's the big thing that is done every year?
The Fields of Faith.
Yeah, so there's fields of faith. There are stuff that you guys are inviting students to, but the biggest thing is your FCA goes to students where they're at in life, in their school, in their sports. And so I just want to be a part of that and help. So Tuesday mornings, and this actually Pastor John and Pastor James kind of started these things, and I have just kind of taken on the mantle so Tuesday mornings with the baseball team, with Pastor James being a character coach, he started Biscuits and Devotional at Bojangles on Tuesday mornings with the baseball team. So when baseball season ended last spring, coming into the fall year, we started it with the softball team. And so Tuesday mornings at Bojangles at 6:50, meet with the softball team. Right now we're walking through the FCA core, the booklet, and then the character coach for that is Ashley Poland, and she joins us too sometimes when she can make it. And then Friday mornings during football season, we do a Biscuits and Devotion with the football team in the locker room. So I'll pick up Bojangles biscuits, take them to school. Football players in their element, in their locker room, will come up, grab a biscuit, and I'll share a quick devotional message with them. And so here's the thing, not that there's a lot of our people. Joey Davis is a leader in student ministry here. He's also the character coach for the tennis team.
Mm-hmm.
There is Banks.
Yeah, you got Morgan and Austin Banks,
so Morgan
the volleyball
and
team.
with the volleyball team, and then one of the leaders right now is interested in with middle school wrestling.
Yeah, Ethan
so
Curtis.
Ethan,
Yep.
Right. So that's the other cool thing is there's a lot of people that just see the passion with SCA and its leadership and want to be a part of that. So that's all really, I guess that's my role, is I just want to be here and be used by you guys whenever you need me and however I can. So I guess
I'm going to jump back into something that you was saying about the Wednesday nights too, is you feed them physically, but that you also feed them spiritually. Sounds like the Biscuits and Devotion for the baseball, and then for the softball, and then the football. We kind of know where the heart is of a teenager. It's a little bit above their stomach. Yeah, a little bit below the heart. It's in their stomach.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
And it's a good way, man, just to, fellowship and breaking bread together is just a way to kind of I don't want to say ease the tension, but it's an icebreaker, really. It gives you a way to connect through fellowship, and then you deliver a message. So really cool.
I love it. So Rockmart High School, their first multi-sport huddle is tomorrow. And and we let the students, this is a student-led huddle where there are about 10 to 15 student leaders that are in charge of getting this together. And they're in charge of lining up speakers and lining up worship. And the leadership team asked you to be the first person speaking this year at Rockmart High School. So no pressure, but it's our first huddle this year. I've heard some rumors it may be outside. It may be in Mr. Malone's room. I'm not sure yet. It's moving around a lot, but could you give us an insight of what you might be speaking on tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Where did it go?
Yeah, no pressure, because you're going to have half these kids there tonight and half of them tomorrow. You just got to have them back to back.
So one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight. So let me ask, not tonight, Thursday morning. So let me ask you this question, maybe some clarification on my end before I go into that. So the multi-huddles, right? Are those where every athlete, is that open to just athletes, or is that open to anybody in the school?
No, the multi-sport huddle is open to everyone in the school. So it's anybody and everybody, teachers, administration, every student, anybody that's willing and able to come. We want to be there.
Okay. So the one thing that I wanted to kind of talk about, since it is like the beginning, is just really discipline, right? So discipline on the field and off the field, right? As they go through their school year, most of them, if they are part of a youth group over the summer, they're coming off a huge summer high, I guess you could say, where they've been to youth camp. They're charged up, ready to go. And if they're not careful, if they don't stay disciplined in the word, if they don't stay disciplined in their relationship, they're going to stray. You know what I mean? So my thought process was just to remind them to stay disciplined in the words. And then, of course, Corinthians 9 is where a lot of people, when they're speaking to athletes, just pull the scripture. But do you not know that all runners in the stadium all race, but only one receives the prize? So run in such a way that you may win. Now, everyone who competes exercises self-control in everything. They do it to receive a perishable crown, but we an imperishable crown. So it's, why do you do what you do, right? Why are you a part of FCA? Why are you an athlete? Why are you or I guess the better question would be, are you a Christian that is an athlete, or are you an athlete that's a Christian? There is a difference. And in doing that, right, in staying that pathway, you didn't get to where you're at in your sport because you just walk on the field. It's a discipline, it's a training. Same way with your walk with Christ. Your discipleship is only going to go as far as the work you put into it, right? The confusing thing a lot of times is I don't have to work for my salvation, right? My salvation's freely given, but I do have to work for my growth. I do have to do works, but now faith without works is dead, right? We kind of talked about earlier, or not earlier, but I've talked about that in the past. But the big thing is to stay in self-control, stay disciplined, not just in disciplining your word, but also discipline in rejecting the things that God has rescued you from. So stay disciplined in your walk, but also disciplined in your in rejecting those things and repentance and stuff like that. So it's going to be kind of where my message is around, and this is discipline and self-control.
I love it. Yeah. One thing I heard, it was said this way. It said, I don't do works to be saved, but I do works because I'm saved.
Because I'm saved. Yeah.
Yeah. I love
And
that. That's what.
and I think, the Great Commission talks about go and make disciples, baptizing, right? And so it doesn't say go and make sure people are saved, which don't get me wrong, like that's the most important thing, is to share the gospel. But I think so many times we share the gospel and that's it. And that's what I love about, that's what I was saying earlier, that's what I love about FCA. That's what I love about, that's why I'm kind of driven more towards discipleship, because it's got to be more than just that. I'm not adding to salvation by no means, but it can't just stop there. There has to be growth.
Yes.
There has to be process, right? Because
Yes.
one of the reasons that God has saved us too is so he can be in a relationship with us, but also so he can use us. And so we have to be used, and that's the way we be used, right? The coach can't put you in the game if you have not trained and you have not practiced and you have not done the work you needed to do before game day, right? And so that's really what discipleship is just putting in the work and doing the work needed to be done. So when it's game time, our coach can put us in.
Man, I love it. I appreciate it. I'm really excited to hear you speak tomorrow to the students. I believe we have Joey Davis going to lead worship.
Yep,
It's going to be a great day. Well, before I let you get off here, is there anything that you want to cover that I didn't ask about, or anything on your mind or heart that you want to?
So just for people that watch this, man, if you live in Polk County and you have a calling to students, there is something different, at least in this area with FCA in school. So if you feel a calling to students, middle school through high school, even elementary school, I don't know if that's even a thing here yet, but man, if you want to join FCA and impact the students' lives, it's an amazing opportunity. If you're seeing this and you feel called and feel led, jump in, contact. I'm pitching you, Scott. So contact Scott. And
contact me.
So
I'll have my email address in the show notes.
Yeah, that's just it, man. I love what God's doing here in Rockmart, Polk County. The Spirit is moving in a way that I've never seen before. God's doing some things that I've never been a part of before. Not saying he's never done them before, because he has. Just never experienced it this way, and I love it. And so if you have the opportunity to be a part of this in any way you can, whether it's at your local church or through FCA, man, jump in, dive in, and just see where God takes you. Just a biggest thing, just put your yes on the table. Just throw your yes down. no stipulations. God, use me. And if you'll do that, he'll blow your mind with what he'll use you for. So
Love it. I appreciate it. And then one more, what can we specifically be praying over you and your ministry?
So a word that I love, but that scares me is growth. And so we're seeing some growth in our ministry. Just so pray for that. Pray that my leaders continue to grow, that they don't get burnt out, that they can be honest when they need, hey, I'm dealing with this, I'm going through that. Pray for me. I need a break. I don't know if that made sense a bit in my head. But just
Yes.
pray for our leaders and pray for our ministry, because we are growing. And I don't know if you remember growing up as a kid, but growing is great, but growing also has growing pain. And so I'm just like, again, I'm new to youth ministry. And so there are things that I'm learning as we go. And so we're kind of all growing together. And so it's great. It's awesome. And God is moving here. So just continue to, well, not continue, but just if you would pray for that, that through this growth, my leaders and I can not lose sight of the focusing on what God has called us to do. That it's about Him. So yeah, just
Love it.
pray for the growth of our ministry.
Will do. Well, I appreciate having you on here. Thank you for giving me your time. Look forward to hearing you tomorrow.
Awesome.
And I'll love to have you back on here sometime.
No, Scott, well, I'd love to come back.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Well, sweet. Thanks, Stephen.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the FCA Polk podcast. Before you go, if you want to help us make disciples, please go to fcapolk.org. Check out all the information about the ministry. Grab your cleats and get in the game.